guys, my name's Luke and today I'm going to be showing you my top 5 tips to make your melodies sound better. Now before I started this video, I threw together a small drum beat and added some sounds from Omnisphere and other synths to get the tutorial going. Now I'll just give you a preview of the drum beat I threw together and the small chords I had made before this video. So let's move on to our first tip. So here I have some chords that I laid down on my MIDI keyboard before this tutorial. So we're just going to listen to it now and I'll show you the problems with this and how I can fix it. So it's a pretty nice melody, but there's a few problems with it. So we're using Contax 5 Gentleman piano and some Valhalla shimmer reverb and some EQ. But what's actually wrong with this, the sound is nice, but the actual MIDI is unrealistic. So what you can do is add an effect that I like to call strumming. So strumming is in FL Studio and sometimes you see producers use it on Chords. Now what strumming is if you ever watch a person play piano in real life, they have their fingers on the keys, but as you can see in this MIDI sequence, all the notes are playing on the grid at the same time, square. But what happens in real life is a person's fingers strums through each chord. So it goes, the first finger goes to E, A, C, and E. So it goes upwards as the player plays the notes. So what you're going to do is search ARP. Now normally people use this for arpeggiations that repeat like this. But what we're going to use this is a bit of a trick. So you go down here and you set the repeat to 1, so it'll play the sequence once. As you can hear, and say if you set it to 4, it will go 4 times. So what we want to do is set it to 1 and come up to this sync and turn it off. And what you'll hear, if you set it to a reasonable value like 50 milliseconds, you'll get a strumming effect. Now it's a bit too fast at the moment. So you can hear there's a strumming effect instead of just a plain old. But we're missing the actual length of the note, so what we can do is search note length and we're going to turn up the length to a max. So as you can hear, instead of having the straight down the grid melody like this, we have this strumming effect. But the only problem is we're missing the notes that are being played without the chords too. So what we're going to do is make a new MIDI channel. Press this button here, which will record the MIDI, select our input, and say piano, and make sure it's armed and press record. So if we go into this MIDI, we can actually see our chords being kind of being played as a real player would. But what we're going to do is go into our MIDI here, which has the notes that we want, and take any ones that are not played with the chord and copy and paste them back in. And there we go. And we'll just add these in the correct space and take this MIDI and put it back. Oh, sorry, take this effect off. And changes here. There we have it, a strumming effect in Ableton Live. So let's move on to our second tip. So the second tip of the video is about layering your sounds. So as I said before in the video, I collected 3 other sounds aside from my piano. So I have a bell from this synth Icarius, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I have a sine-like sound from Omnisphere, which is called NASA. It is from Nick Romero's Omnisphere pack. Really recommend this sound pack. And a pad again from Icarius. Again, a really good scent. I've been finding really nice sounds. I really had to change some of the settings though to make it sound right. There's a morph that gave this kind of delayed effect. I didn't really like it. I found that this melody was suited more for simple sounds. Really rich pad though. So I cleaned up the MIDI notes to make them just sit nicely instead of playing all the time, just overlapping. So what I'm gonna do is simply drag this down. I'm gonna click on it and press Alt, hold down Alt, then drag the MIDI notes down, and you'll just hear that it adds a lot more depth to the whole melody. So these chords are gonna play all together now. Another thing you can do is EQ your sounds to give them space. So you can hear the piano now, and you can see, move this EQ back, the piano main sound is in this frequency here. So I'm just gonna get this low pass filter and drag it upwards. I'll go down and do the same for the sine, which I already have done, so I'm just bringing it back down. And the pad. Just taking all the lows out so the 808 can come through. So you can hear that laying your melodies like this really kind of adds more depth and shine to your synths. So the next step is we're going to add a bell. So we're going to get this melody and copy and paste it, or Alt like we did before, and bring it up. But what we want to do is take away the chords and only play the top notes, so it adds a lot of variation. And a bell doesn't need to be strummed, so I'm just going to make these on the grid. I just moved it down an octave. All I had to do is press Shift and up or down. Now I feel like the piano is shining it through a bit much, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this EQ off and totally drown it in the shimmer reverb. And what I could do, I find with pianos you can add a lot of reverb and add a lot of space, so I'm just going to add an imager to make it even wider. And then finally we're just going to flatten this down and maybe even reverse it. So I'm just going to right click it here and freeze it. And I've left 2 bars, it repeats itself twice so I can loop this part and have the reverb still in the sound. So I like this for this plan. Plus this will save a lot of CPU usage. You obviously could keep it as MIDI, but you won't be able to reverse it easily. So we're going to go in here and select the start point to be here, and then we can loop this through like so. So basically this will play from here and enter this loop here and infinitely loop as much as possible. And you know, if we're reversing it, we're not going to use that effect. We just kind of want to literally take this and just consolidate it once, reverse it if it'll work, and loop it once more. I'm going to give it a listen now. I find that pianos that reverse really sound nice. That adds a lot. This is really nice now compared to just having the straight piano like this. Because all the chords are playing the same notes anyway, so having the reverse adds a lot more melodies to the synths and etc. So, as you can hear, layering adds a lot more depth to your synths. That's tip 2 of this video. So the third tip of this video is adding effects to the group of your synths. So as you can see, we have our chords group here, and in it we have our piano, our sine synth, and our pad synth. So what we can do is find an effect that we can apply to all three. And I find when I add an effect to all these and all three synths or multiple synths, it really kind of brings us together. So my go-to is a plugin by Waves. It's called Meta Flanger, and it's a basic flanger. I just use it instead of Ableton's built-in. I'll just get it up now. I don't know, I can't get it. There we go. And the presets are pretty good, so I definitely go to this one here. The soft spread really makes it kind of trippy. And what we could do is add an EQ. Maybe some distortion, maybe a small tip, overdrive, add this in, dynamics down, tone down. So if I take all these, group them, and I can show you what they'd sound like without it. So without it sounds like this. Sorry, I'm using two screens so you can see it, but I turn the mix. Where's the mix? To around 75. And what I also use is Redux, so it just reduces the bitrate of the sample. And maybe down by 2.66 is a nice preset. Valhalla Shimmer is one of the best I've ever used. It actually adds the tonal qualities to your synths. So that's the third tip of this video, just adding some standard effects to your groups of synths. So the third tip of this video is using counter melodies. So here we have our bells. I'll just get to listen again. And adds really nice shine to the top end of the melodies. What we're going to do is duplicate this channel as I just did. And what I'd normally do to make a really simple counter melody, obviously it can be used in a different way, is shift down to go down 1 octave and actually bring the notes, I just press it full there, to the front. So what it's going to do is going to counter melody really easily. If I could get the synth here, copy it down. So just making sure none of the notes collide. So all I'm doing is 1 down, 1 octave down, 1 up. So that's just a simple counter melody. So even adding this during the break could be an idea. So if you had this simple melody playing along, and I've arranged this already with the drums, but the reverse piano only comes in the breaks as well. So what you could do is have this melody being played like normal. Add some variation. So that's just simply adding counter melodies to your melodies. So the fifth and final tip of this video is about auditioning your chords and your plucks to see how they sound in a different scale. So all I use is a simple plugin from Waves called Sound Shifter. Now this Sound Shifter plugin is basically a transpose VST, which takes an audio and, well, does it quite well actually. It was around $80. It basically takes in the audio and transposes them as much as you want. I think there's a limit of 12. Yeah, so 12 and go up and down. So what you could do is, say if I wanted to see what my chords would sound like 2 semitones up. So I'm going to put it on the group. So each of these are going to put up 2 octaves. So you can hear it now. So here's the normal. And I'll just switch it right in between. I'll just turn it on now. So I like the sound of that a lot better than the original melody. So obviously you wouldn't use this actual this plugin permanently. You're just gonna use it to see what it sounds like. So what I'm gonna do is put this 2 up, turn it to complex to make it sound a bit better. Sorry, and take this 1, 2. Same for this. Turn off fold. 1, 2. So there's basically going up 2 semitones, and my bells, since they're all in a scale, you can just move them up and they'll all sound good. And the only other instrument that I need to change is my 808. So 1, 2. So we're in F minor. 1, 2, and we can copy and paste the easy way, the lazy way, and we can hear now our melody is simply put up 2 octaves. 2 semitones, sorry. So a totally different feel. I use a lot when I'm either not happy with the melody or I'm getting bored of a beat. This really helps me kind of get some more interest, gives me a bit more inspiration. This is a lot more kind of happy and upbeat, kind of more Lil Uzi type. Might be a bit biased because I'm obsessed with Uzi. There we go. That's just a simple way to audition different scales and melodies. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you learned something new. Let me know in the comments if you did. If you don't understand something, hit me a line in the comments. I'll definitely try and reply back to you. The rate that my channel is growing is crazy. I've got like 1,000 views on 2 of my videos, 800 on the other ones. My Reddit community has really helped out. The EDM production and trap production, they've given me advice, and people are asking me to do certain topics. Like I've had a suggestion in my last video to do a tutorial on the 808 and snare layouts, making a mix together. That's going to be coming. I have a list of around 7 or 8 things to do, so the shortage of ideas is not there. I have a lot of ideas to be doing, and it's coming in the future. Hopefully I'll be able to keep up the week every Friday, upload to Saturday. I'm really excited about the future of this channel. Feel like I'm kind of starting to get the hang of things. If I have any errors, just let me know in the comments. I'll try and fix them, but we're all not perfect. And thank you so much for watching the video, and hit us a like if you liked the video. If you disliked the video, dislike it, and hit that to subscribe if you want to see more content. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.